Africans and foreign nationals. SABC News senior reporter Chriselda Lewis has been covering that story for us. Chriselda, what's happening where you are?
These live pictures, apologies, they're live television at this moment. You can see some of the workers as well as some of the customers here in Alexandra are being asked to leave this store at the moment. Several of the stores here in Alexandra, just around the Pan-Africa Mall, have been shut as the Dudula movement continues to say that foreign nationals that are operating in this particular area should move. You can see here, these are some of the individuals. Sir, I don't know if there's a possibility if I could speak to you any chance, please. We're live on SABC, sir. There are police officers who've also been brought in here. My colleague Herbert Memela on these pictures at the moment. Let's just hear.
90% South Africans. It's 90% South Africans who are here and there's already to do performance
All right, police being brought in here. Let's try to speak to this gentleman. Baba, this guy's accusing, saying that there are many foreign nationals working here. I hear you telling police that is not the case. You're very unhappy about what has happened here.
There are about 90% South Africans working here. We do have foreigners working here, but they are legal foreigners that are working here, you understand? They've got papers. They came, we showed them the IDs and the passports. It's legal foreigners that are working here. So I really don't know what they want now.
So your business has been disrupted. I see a lot of people are coming out now.
Because they are scared, they don't know what's going to happen. You see, that's why the customers are coming out and then the other customers can't come inside the shop.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Take a look at this line. People leaving the spot here at the moment, just one of the malls here in Alexandra. This is, in fact, what is the name of the store? The Freedom Supermarket. Leaving the Freedom Supermarket here at in Alexandra. Many of them are a bit scared at the moment to move from this particular spot. Others standing right on top there. Ask my colleague Herbert Memela to show some of them right on top there who don't want to come out. All right, the manager of the store also saying that people should come out from on top there. These are individuals or customers that obviously have been coming to shop here, and now they've been told to leave this particular area. Speaking to the manager, him indicating that there are about 90% South Africans that are working here, and he doesn't understand why his business has been interrupted at this particular point. I'm not sure if we're able to go towards that direction with my colleague, Herbert Memela. I'm going to try and assist. I know it's a bit of a staircase going up that way. Are we able to? Let's move towards that area. Let's try and go in there and speak to some of these individuals. Some of them not wanting to come down here, I guess, because they're a bit afraid of coming down from this area. All right. Sanibonani sisi. Kunjani mama? Ngiyanibona ukuthi niyaphuma bathi kunabantu laphayana. Niyasaba ukuthi kwenzakalani la? All right, I don't think she understands me at this particular point. Oh, okay, Kasisi. Now, we just came to have a look here in terms of exactly what is taking place. That lady indicating that they are a bit afraid of what's taking place. Business has been disrupted here. We'll try and move towards that area down there. My colleague Herbert Memela will move with us, and we'll try to bring you what's taking place outside. The accusation also being at this point that some of the individuals who are being targeted here are some of these shops that employ in the majority South Africans. They argue that the operation itself is targeting just about anyone on the strap here, or the strip, where there are quite a number of shops that have been targeted and forcefully closed. Just a few moments before you came to us, there were quite all the shops in the stretch. Take a look at the large number of people here. Here the shops are, right along this strip here. Each and every one of them has been closed at this particular stage. Police are trying to get a hold of the situation in that they've been asking those here, due to heightened tensions, to refrain from closing the stores. But as you saw, police were also trying to go into that store and speak to some of the managers, in that they've communicated with those from the Dudula movement that in the majority they're employing South Africans. They don't know why they're being targeted at this stage. So every single shop along here has been closed. Certain concerns at this point that perhaps a bit later on the violence itself could escalate. So police are out not too much at this particular stage. They're trying to make sure that there is no violence that continues. A number of people have been injured. Take a look right along this main road coming into Alexandra. For those who might not know the geography of this area, if you turn on Greyston Drive, coming from perhaps your Auckland Park or Johannesburg area, you then turn right onto Wynberg, and from that particular space, as you move into Alexandra near the Pan-Africa Mall, that's where everything is taking place. This is where people have gathered in their numbers. And remember, this area now, where these shops have been closed, is an area that was also, again, highly affected by the July unrest. And the very mall that you're looking at the moment is one of those that was destroyed in that mall. We were also just last week, towards the end of the July hearings, here with the Human Rights Commission, and found that some of the shops that have been destroyed in July have not reopened. So many of those who are running businesses in this area have indicated that they cannot afford more loss to income. The economy itself is not doing well, and they're saying that if there's any further disruptions to their businesses, it's simply something that they're not able to afford. So many of the foreign nationals who are operating these shops here on this main strip have left this particular area. Several people have been injured.
Chriselda, you did mention earlier that there seemed to be a decent police presence, that they seem to be handling the situation. What about over and above that, in terms of local municipal officials coming through? Any sightings of those kinds of people wanting to speak to the operation? Okay,
Absolutely
she seems to.
Not. At this particular stage, just police officers at this stage. Just police officers that are in this area, them indicating that this is as much as they can do. And certainly my concern at this particular point is that it's only the media as well as a handful of police officers, nobody from the community. The only person that I managed to speak to just a few moments ago was the Alexandra Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to try and come in to that interview in just a second. Are you live at the moment? I'm going to bring in the Alexandra Chamber of Commerce and try and speak to him in just a moment. I'll go live with him now just to find out what their stance is on all of this. The Greater Alexandra, there's a Patrick Baloy, who is the Greater Alexandra Chamber of Commerce and Industry. You're with that, sir. Very good afternoon to you. What is your stance on what is taking place here at the moment? As the Greater Chamber of Commerce here in Alexandra, are you supporting what is happening?
No, we're not supporting the approach. However, we do call on the relevant law enforcement agency, together with the City of Johannesburg EDE, together with the economic cluster, so that we can start having deliberations and round table discussion on these issues. I mean, in the absence of law, you will have such prevailing, and you cannot have citizens checking if people are documented or undocumented. That is the duties of the relevant authorities. But because they are not doing their jobs, you will have the community up in arms and doing this thing among themselves. Our fear is anarchy. As the Greater Alexandra.
But what do you say about this? Come, let me show you. What do you say about this? The lady who was operating here. All right, this lady just packed her stuff a few moments ago. I'll speak to the Greater Chamber of Commerce here in Alexandra in just a moment. Mama, bafika apha bathi mawususe izinto zakho.
Susile bathi ngisuse lapha abafuni ukuthi bona ukuthi mina ngibhakile mara I'm a South African and bayamangaza bathi laba ama foreigner ababafuni mara babaqashisile elokishini barenda kubo wayebangaqali babasuse emizini lapha elokishini babasusa lapha ku traders kuphela elokishini bakhona amasomalia akhona amabastina wayebangaqali elokishini
One of these, yeah. All right. One of the South African, just to clarify there, yes, this is South African hawker who is trading here. And just a few moments ago, she was asked to start packing up her stuff. I mean, as the Greater Chamber of Commerce in Alexandra, this is unacceptable.
It is.
You just alluded to the fact that in July, I mean, you had the Pan Africa Mall, which is just across from us, which was attacked.
Yes.
There are some shops that have not opened even until this one.
Freedom Supermarket,
including
which is our
Freedom.
members.
So why is this being allowed to happen then?
In the absence of law and in the absence of service delivery, you will have this happening. We have been calling, I'll make you an example. The Department of Small Business has a program to support such people. But now, because there is no coordination, there is no organization, I mean, we are not organized. This is what happens. Now, we are not supporting what is happening. We cannot say we are for what is happening right now. However, we are saying if the law enforcement agencies and relevant departments were doing their job, you wouldn't have citizens doing this. Because our fear as the chamber is that there's going to be black-on-black violence.
But there's no excuse for the violence.
Yes, there's no
because
excuse.
You see, the thing is that South Africans and foreign nationals were injured today.
Yes.
They were hit with stones and bricks. Some of them have got their heads cut open.
Yes.
I mean, what do you say to that? It has turned violent now.
We are calling for peace. We are calling for calm. We are calling for a roundtable discussion. We are calling for the government to intervene, and we should have time frames. This is not the first time this is happening. Let me tell you, during the unrest, we hear now during the commission, a human rights commission, that there was no intelligence. You are the intelligence, we are intelligence. When we call for intervention, government does nothing. But you will see from now on, they will want to react.
Patrick, thank you very much indeed. Patrick Baloy, who is with the Greater Chamber of Commerce here in Alexandra. And what he speaks to, indeed, relating to the July unrest, and you're having Alexandra here, which was one of the areas that was highly affected. That was the question that was asked. Recall, when the then State Security Minister, Ayanda Dlodlo, had testified, she said that there had been a series of protests that had taken place, which gave an indication about what was going to happen. And that is what the Greater Chamber of Commerce here in Alexandra is talking about. This is not the first time that these operations have been taking place targeting foreign nationals, whether they are legal or illegally in the country. So no more intelligence, I guess, would be needed to what is clearly on the ground, what is being beamed on many television networks in the country. I've seen international media also arrive here at the moment. This certainly being a big story given the history of violence against foreign nationals in the country. So certainly at this point, all indications are there's a very handful of police officers here. A handful of police officers yet. I think it's been more than 5 or 6 hours now that this has been taking place. What more intelligence, I guess, would be needed at this point? Hence, I keep referring to the July unrest itself, because the Human Rights Commission had been here last week towards the end of the July unrest hearings into what had taken place then. More than 300 people had died, and there are fears that this kind of action, the protests that continue here, this time under a banner called the Tutula movement, saying that they're going to continue with this action until all the foreign nationals here leave. And this is what's taking place here at the moment. Let's move towards here. 1 second. I see there seems to be some interaction taking place here. Police officers here at the Freedom Supermarket. This was one of the supermarkets that was attacked, you'd recall, during the July unrest. So police officers are trying to assist customers who are coming out from here, them quite afraid of what is taking place here, them being escorted by police. The manager who we spoke to has indicated that there are more than 80% of South Africans operating here. They do not, he claims, hire foreign nationals over South Africans, but it seems like everyone has been caught in this action at this particular stage. Police officers trying to man the situation here to ensure. I think the greater fear at this point is that while you have police that are manning areas such as the Freedom Supermarket, you don't want to see scenes like in July where looting had taken place. So far, none of that is taking place. This was one of the supermarkets that was targeted then. They have been struggling since then to try and get back on their feet. Today is another day of disruption to their businesses. So there are still a few people inside at the moment, but certainly business has been disrupted here.
Thanks very much, Chriselda, for that comprehensive report. My colleague there, Chriselda Lewis, we're going to go for a quick break.